What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. You may ask, why am I today? I'm looking after a house, so new venue just for this weekend's video. So let's get to it. Super Rugby predictions for week 3. What a tournament we've had. It was so great seeing the All Blacks and Australians and the Japanese team taking part in this tournament. It's an awesome tournament. I love watching it. And we saw some upsets, we saw some great matches from teams that we pretty much predicted dominance. So I'm excited to see what this weekend has in store for us. If we get to first fixture, the Blues versus the Chiefs. The Blues had obviously lost last weekend, and the Chiefs did too. So this is going to be a game where both teams are going to be wanting to prove their critics wrong. They're going to be wanting to give a hard-fought performance. So yeah, both teams are going to be wanting to try and get a victory. But for me personally, I see the Chiefs winning this one. I just see them maybe as the stronger team out of the two. But it's definitely going to be a hard-fought fight tomorrow morning. Then we get to Reds, Brumbies. Again, both teams not performing to the best of their ability. The Reds obviously losing shockingly to the Rebels. There's a lot of talk. Maybe they should choose Quade Cooper and give him a chance. Personally, I'm not a fan of the bloke, but he's a damn good player, and I would have him in my team because you just never know what he can bring to the Reds team. For the Brumbies, I would have expected them to have dominated the Sunwolves. They came back from behind, which is great, but we are looking at one of the weaker teams in Super Rugby, and this is technically Australia's strongest team. So that was a shock. So this is going to be a tough game. Both teams are going to want to redeem themselves and prove a point. But personally, I'm going to go Brumbies for this one. I think, yes, the Reds are at home and it's going to be tough. But I just see the Brumbies sneaking this one. It's going to be close, but we'll have to wait and see the outcome. Sunwolves versus Rebels. Now, this is a tough fixture for Saturday as it kicks off. You know, again, Sunwolves, as I just said, proved a lot of critics wrong. They gave the Brumbies a hard-fought match. Rebels pretty much dominated the Reds. Yes, there was a red card and all that jazz, or card, I think, in the game. But the Rebels still dominated. And once again, one of the weaker teams in Australia. So, Sherbert, this could be a lacquer underdog game. I'm quite excited to see what goes about for this game. Personally, if I'm predicting, I'm going to go Rebels to win, just from experience point of view. How good they looked last week. Actually, I don't know. Maybe Sunwolves can keep up with the momentum they had last week, but I just don't think that's possible. So I'm going to go with the Rebels victory on Saturday morning. Then we got Crusaders, Stormers. Stormers have a tough tour overseas. It's going to be a real tough game for them. I hope that give the Crusaders a good fight. Crusaders coming off of a great win against the Chiefs last week, so it's going to be exciting stuff. But for me, I can see pure dominance from the Crusaders, as much as I want the Stormers to attack. And who knows, I'm open for being wrong. I mean, I was wrong twice last week. Who knows, we could be. But just from a Crusaders point of view, the strength of the team, the strength of New Zealand rugby, Stormers are still facing some injuries. They aren't looking as strong as one would expect. So for me personally, I'm going Crusaders to beat the Stormers this weekend. Then we got my team in South Africa, the Sharks versus the Waratahs. Now, my Australian team as well, but obviously my main team is the Sharks. This is going to be a tough game. Sharks obviously coming off a bye last week. Waratahs coming off a good week, a good win against the Stormers. Again, tough game for both teams, but you know, it's going to be an interesting contest. For me, I want to go with my heart on this one and say the Sharks, but actually, I'm going to take a risk. Before I recorded it, I was going to say Waratahs to win, but I think just because of how close last week's game was when Stormers played, the Waratahs in Australia. I just maybe think home advantage could help the Sharks this weekend. So I'm going Sharks to win, but man, it's going to be close, guys. Three or more points, if even. Then we got the Bulls versus the Bulls versus the Lions, South African derby. This is gonna be a humdinger. The Transvaal teams playing against each other. Bulls coming off of a fantastic win last week against the Hurricanes. Lions just continuously growing and developing and getting better. This is again another tough prediction. It's pretty much similar to the Sunwolves Rebels and Blues Chiefs. It's going to be a tough game. But personally, if I have to pick a team, I'm going Lions, just on the basis of experience, where they are at the moment, how good they're looking, and where I see them going in the future. Again, the Bulls could shock us, guys, and I will not be surprised if they pick up a win this weekend. But I'm going Lions by 7 or more points. Then we got the final game late at night, South African time, probably Sunday for a lot of the Australian, New Zealand guys, and that is the Jaguars versus the Hurricanes in Argentina. Now this is going to be an interesting game. Jaguars are on the rise and they're improving, but the Hurricanes lost last week to the Bulls. They're going to want to have revenge on any team they face this weekend or face in the future, because I think that was a very big shock of a loss for the Hurricanes, as they are one of the biggest teams. They've got some amazing players in that team. I mean, TJ Perenara, one of my favourite scrummers, Bowden Barrett, you know, the Xavier, all those guys linked together are an All Black team. So for me personally, I'm just going to see the Hurricanes bounce back and dominate the Jaguars. I hope the Jaguars give a fight. They are in Argentina, which means home advantage. So I'm personally hoping for a good fight from the Jaguars, but I just see the Hurricanes totally dominating that game. And that's going to do it for today's predictions for the rugby this weekend. It's going to be a humdinger of a weekend of rugby. I cannot wait to see the outcomes. Good luck to all your teams, and yeah, let's enjoy some good old rugby, and good luck to my Sharks. Hopefully they can pick up a win. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to smash that thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can keep up to date with all future uploads. Super Rugby, Six Nations, all of it, you name it. So keep on watching and subscribe to this channel. Stay safe, guys. Enjoy the rugby and never give up. Cheers.